So generally speaking, this is all very good. We've got the cladding for the outsides. Obviously, we still need to just insert the last of the insulation boards into the cavities. We haven't plastered that side because we're going to be putting cladding on top of that. It's going to cover it. We've already purchased the cladding. It's an MDF cladding. It looks really, really smart. We're going to paint that tomorrow. So that's all ready to go, and we're going to be getting in. So fingers crossed that in the next 4 or 5 days, this bathroom is actually going to be done. It's incredible to think that that's going to be the case because it has taken a long time, but we have done this properly. We've not cut any corners, and I think that the final outcome should be exactly what we had hoped for. It's another day of painting today. Yesterday we finished painting the cladding. The cladding is going to go around the perimeter of the bathroom. It's in a grey colour. You probably can't see it because of the light reflection at the moment, but it's looking really good. It's in a colour called Cornforth White, and it is from Dulux. All of our paints are Dulux trade. They go an incredibly long way. Very good quality paints. We definitely do recommend them. And we've got a variety of different paints for different applications. So that's the Cornforth White that we've had mixed from Dulux. Yesterday we've done 2 coats on the ceiling, so that's all done. We will now be applying the second coat on the actual walls themselves. We had to do that while we waited for the plaster to dry. It's finally done. It's been 6 days. It's finally dried. So today we're going to be applying the primer. We'll then start painting the final touches. So if all goes well today and we're able to get through it all, we should actually have this bathroom fully painted. And then tomorrow we shall start fitting all the final bits like the Minerva panels, shower panels on the back wall in the shower, the vanity, the toilet, and the bath. Vanity unit is going to go over here. In the corner we're going to build a little box so that we can put our close coupled toilet in. And then last but not least we'll probably put the bath in. So it's come a long way since we started this project, but it's all looking a lot neater and it's all looking a lot more professional than what the previous owners had done. This floor is just rock solid. It's not moving anywhere, so it's taken the weight of our shower tray quite easily, and the bath, which is also quite heavy, will have no issues. So generally speaking, we're almost there. I reckon we're probably about 2 days worth of work from completion, and our master bathroom will be done. It was a big session yesterday. We have the Minerva shower panels up. These are acrylic panels. This is the Carrera marble effect. It looks really, really good when it's up on the wall. Part of the challenge is just to go through the panels because each panel is individual. So what you do is you just try and match up the marble veins basically that runs through the shower trays, just to make sure that you've got a little bit of consistency to design. It was quite a big job to put this up, purely because the panels are quite big. They are relatively heavy. They are easy to cut, and when you cut through them, they release a very strong plasticky smell, because at the end of the day I think they're an acrylic resin formulation. So it's a bit toxic. So you make sure that you've got a hoover connected to your cutter so that you're collecting all of the plastic shards, of which there are a lot. And you can actually wear a mask because it does smell a bit when you're cutting through it. From a mounting perspective, we went through 7 tubes of the Works multi-use sealant and adhesive. So it's splodged on the back of all the panels. They are sitting very, very firmly, very, very strong. It does take a fair amount of work to make sure that they are aligned perfectly. We can see there is a slight separation in the corner. That's not the actual shower panels, that has more to do with the straightness of the wall from the previous owners, the way they did that. But you do get little corner units from Minerva, so we will just run them as little beading through the corners, and that's going to hide all of those quite effectively. For the middle joint, where you can't use your own adhesive, they actually do provide you with their own. It comes in the same color as Carrera White. It is, again, just the most toxic of things. When you actually mix it up and apply it, the smell of the adhesive is so incredibly strong. It's like a really strong glue meets acrylic smell. Again, try and work in a very ventilated room when you're doing that, because it does give you headaches after a short period of time. But the thing is that once you've put it in, you can actually see, just because of the color and the strength of the bond, you can barely see the joint between the 2 panels. We also strategically positioned it so it would be running close to the shower controls, because the panel will go over that. And yeah, we've also done it on the side where we've built our shelf out. We've also used the acrylic on the insides of that. What we'll be doing today is we'll be sanding a lot of these edges down so that we get really nice smooth finishes. The joint kits that you can buy from Minerva give you a variety of different sandpapers and buffing options. You have to use an orb sander for those, so that's what we're going to be doing. Just rounding off the edges, like I said, and just making everything look really neat. Then when it's all done, we will start putting the corner beading up the sides again on that side, and we'll do the same on that side. So there's a fair amount of work left before the shower finishes, but it's I've got to say, we were hoping it was going to turn out well. It absolutely looks so nice, very elegant, very sophisticated. We really do like the finish of this. So do recommend the Minerva panels. They do require a bit of work. There'll definitely be at least 2 of you that have to work with them. We also try to judge ours to get as close to the top of the ceiling as possible, so we prevent any water getting in behind it. But the challenge with that, obviously, is that you need to angle them in to a pretty tight space, and the angles themselves are often quite challenging. So as we can see, just up here we've dented the ceiling a little bit, so I'm going to have to just do a little bit of touch-ups afterwards. But generally speaking, I think that the Minerva panels are really, really good. The bulk of our cladding panels are now up. What we've done on this side is we've just made a little hatch that gives us access to the majority of the pipework in this bathroom. Basically, a lot of the joints converge right there, so if we do spring a leak again, at least it is accessible. It will be hidden by the bathtub, which is good. The tap and the paneling, it's all melding and merging very, very nicely. We've gone the whole way around to this point. just the last 2 panels that are going to go up, and then that's that done. Then we'll put the dado rails on and the skirting. The 2 light fixtures that we fitted above the shower are from a company called Ovia. They're called Interceptor Nano 5. I've got to say the installation of these lights is just so incredibly easy because they have what they call a flow connector. So basically you don't have to dangle the whole light fitting out of the ceiling while you wire it up. You just wire the connector in. You drill a hole of about 60 mils, which allows them to fit in there. And they just slot in super easy when they're in there. They are fire retardant, and they're obviously bathroom and kitchen designed downlights. So they were really easy to install and they really look fantastic. Yesterday was another very busy day in the bathroom. We had the orb sander out to start with, and we sanded all the edges down where the acrylic was. It's sanded down really beautifully. It's a very tactile material, this stuff from Minerva. This actually now just feels like one solid piece as opposed to 2 joint pieces. We've still got a little bit of sanding to go today because we need to get the finer paper out just to get all the smooth edges going. You can also see, when you actually look for it, you can actually see the joint. But the further back you step, the joint becomes less and less obvious and less evident. So from that perspective, I think that this is just a very, very good product, and their bonds for the joining panels are really, really effective. The other really big thing that we got through yesterday was putting the paneling around the sides of the bath. We've got the dado rails at the top. The toilet's going to go in the corner, so we haven't run the skirting up to it yet because it's going to go on the angle to utilize the space as best we can. We've also got the vanity unit out. That's now been, we've made provisions for the pipe work, so that's all ready to go. We've also got the bath in. We just wanted to put it in situ just so we can start determining spaces for the toilet and just moving stuff around. The tap's already plumbed in and live, as we saw quite some time ago. And I do think that the paneling actually looks really smart and really elegant. I really like the dado rails. They just complete the room. They just give it that last final piece. And we've done some skirting boards on this side. And we've run the skirting boards around the back here, where the heated towel rail is going to go. Yesterday was a day of big things. Today is going to be a day of smaller things. So for example, we've got our dado rail, which we cut in line with the actual window shape. But because we've done that, we obviously need to fill all of those gaps. Once those are done, we're going to sand those down just so we have nice smooth edges, and then we're going to have to do a lot more painting. We've obviously got the little pins that we fired in to secure the dado rails. Those have to be filled in and repainted. And obviously as you work with stuff, you've got dirty hands, so it's just going to be about refreshing a lot of the panels with paint, so it's going to be small things. Then hopefully tomorrow, once we've done all of those, we're going to get back to the shower. As I said, put all the beading in the sides, fill all of those gaps. That's actually probably going to happen today. And most importantly, we're going to sand down all of the last joints. I've got to say, as a warning, you have to use a mask for that. The amount of dust that creates is actually quite crazy. There was a thin layer throughout the course of this bathroom. It's obviously an acrylic plasticky type resin, so it's not going to be very healthy breathing that stuff in. So definitely use a mask to protect yourself and don't inhale too much of that. But generally speaking, it's a really, really nice product. It is genuinely easy to work with. Cutting it and treating it has not been too bad. As we can see, there's more acrylic joints on this side because we haven't sanded these down at all. This was the last panel that we put in, and the reason this last panel went in last is because we had to first fit the skirting board, which has now been done. And the key has been not rushing through everything just to get it done. It's certainly far from being a bodge job. Everything's been meticulously cut and put into place, and we're trying to get this job done to the highest possible standard. So it's out with the cork gun now, and we're going to start painting. So there we go, that wraps up this video. Tune in for our final installment when you'll get to see our bathroom fully completed and fully decorated. See you then. Thanks for watching. You can also follow us on Twitter or check out our website at myhomefarm.co.uk. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the subscribe button below, and if you have any suggestions for any other videos you would like to see, please leave a comment. We hope to see you on our next video.